make you feel like you don't have a care. There ain't no one else around but you. So here's exactly what you're gonna do. Take your hands and dig deep into your soul. Let yourself lose control. Turn it up, so get up. Can you feel it all over? No, you'll never know when you'll get the chance. So put on your favorite sound and dance. It's a good day to have a good day. So tighten up your laces and be on your way. It's a good time to have a good time. So feel the beat down in your bones and smile. Oh, take your hands and dig deep into your soul. Let yourself lose control. Turn it up.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's October 15th, 2019. And I just read that there's only 11 Mondays until Christmas.
And I told her, let's not talk about it. It's too much. Too much this early in the morning.
Anyway, so what did we do this weekend? What was the thing?
Well, I was busy with Brandon.
I was busy doing
all
Pilates
weekend.
all weekend.
So for me, homecoming is coming up.
Mhm.
Senior boy with a girlfriend.
Mhm.
And of course, he had to give her the mum. I mean, if I could post pictures right now and let y'all see it,
She would.
I would totally do
She
it because
loves
they're
all of
so
them.
cute.
They are cute.
They're so cute. So anyway, I was busy doing photos with them. We exchanged mums and garters. And for you who are not from Texas, y'all wouldn't understand.
It's a big
the whole
deal.
mum and garter thing.
Big deal.
Huge. Anyway, she was super cute and sweet. And they are super cute and sweet. So that and senior portraits. It was all day Sunday. What did I do Saturday? I had family in town for the football game. I don't know. It was just a crazy busy weekend.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
She was crazy busy.
So I did Mat 102 this weekend with some amazing students, and it's kind of probably my favorite thing to do in the Pilates industry right now is to teach instructors to love Pilates like I do, and to teach them that Pilates is more than just a workout. It's so much more.
So you were 15 hours in the studio this weekend, right?
Yes. 15 hours. Yes. But fun and hard and good, all great stuff. And I love at the end where teachers who have never taught get up and try to teach, and they didn't just try, they actually did. So it was pretty exciting and fun. So we're now moving on to reformer training coming up soon.
Well, wait a minute. Let's talk about one of your students that just sent you.
Oh.
I mean, it's super cute.
Oh, okay. So, Erin.
Super cute, Erin.
We love you, first of all. So I have this student, and I said, hey, guys, if you would like to order some flashcards, I have flashcards from Personal Best Pilates Academy. Shout out to Carrie and Amanda out there. I can order them for you, or you can go online and order them. No big deal. They're already done for you. So she goes home and she makes flashcards, 301 flashcards
On
just
Quizlet.
for Mat 101 and 102.
She is a rock star.
She is.
I mean, she's way smarter than I would.
And then she just
I
sent
want to be
it.
like you, Erin.
She sent it to everyone so that they could use it. I mean, how nice is that? But I was like, You can't. I'm serious. We got to order those cards. So Carrie, you'll be probably hearing from me. But anyway, so it's great to see people light up and love learning. And it's a hard weekend, but it's also really fun weekend. So
It's a long weekend whenever you do those things.
it is. It's long, but it's good. It's good.
She enjoys it. She's like a nerd.
I do.
She gets all lit up in the face when she talks about a muscle group.
I love it.
And I'm like,
yeah, but that's what makes us tick.
it is what makes us tick, because I don't really care about muscle groups. I just want them to feel good.
Wow.
I just,
Yeah.
I just
Anyway.
tell her what hurts and she tells me what to do to fix it.
Well, we do our best. So what else? What else is going on? Let's talk, mental health.
This is the month.
This is the month. It's
an
been a big
awareness
thing.
month for mental health.
Yes.
And we're all mental people, let's face it.
Yes.
To some degree.
Well, in our day and time, we are struggling with anxiety and depression and all those things that we as human beings, we're living in a world that moves at a very fast pace.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's probably more of an occurrence than not. I think more people deal with it than they don't even realize it, right? So,
yep.
Well,
we just got an email from Brandon High School that was discussing how a student last year, unfortunately, took their life, and they're trying to get the word out to talk to our kids and to explain to them, there's always help. They just have to reach out for us to stay more involved in our kids' lives and that sort of thing. I think it hits home whenever you get an email from your current high school that says this has happened, so let's bring awareness to it. Let's help our children. Because listen, teenage hormones and teenage, like the way that they think and their thought processes, they're not mature enough to even understand what is going on within their own minds and bodies.
Well, I think even as an adult,
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely overwhelming, and you don't understand what's going on unless you're truly educated about it. I had my very first bout of postpartum depression with my first child, Allie, and it was the darkest time in my life.
Yeah.
Like I literally thought that I was never going to come back to be myself again. I felt like I was in this pit and I just could not climb out of it, and it scared me to death. And I was quickly turned on to counselors, and I actually took some medication that has changed my whole life. And I didn't even realize that I had a problem. And then as I did research in my family, they all had it. They just didn't talk about it.
That was my family. I went through postpartum really bad with my second one. And it was kind of frowned upon. I mean, sorry, family, but you kind of frowned upon the medication part of trying to get through it. And I do feel like postpartum is a serious topic that, why is it so shunned? I mean, I think it's better now, but whenever I was pregnant and had the baby and going through all that, I mean, I remember on the floor in the fetal position just crying, and Brandon, my oldest, being 5 years old, going, Mommy, are you okay? And I'm just crying my eyes out, but it came to a point where I had to take control over my own health because I had 2 kids and I had to figure it out. So I went to the doctor and I got help, but it took a long time for people to be okay with me getting help.
I think, Eddie, sorry to call you out, babe, but you were just kind of like snap out of it. It was
just snap out of it.
It's something you can't snap out of. And he learned quickly through my counselors and the doctors that I went to that this was something that was happening before I was ever pregnant or postpartum. It was just worse after pregnancy. So I learned, I can honestly say that after I started my medication, this is now Allie's 14 on Saturday.
Happy birthday, Allie.
Happy birthday.
She's going to be watching this, and we have to give a shout out.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
So 14, so I have been taking medication for depression and anxiety for that long. And I can honestly say that for the very first time in my life, I saw color. Like there were things that I had never been able to slow my brain down long enough to enjoy and to see things around me because of how I lived in this dark place. So you see behind me, my favorite thing to do in my pastime is to sit on the piano, and I had kind of stopped doing that. And then after I came out of the clear and was able to get everything stabilized in my body, I was able to sit down and enjoy the piano more.
Sometimes I walk in. I always walk in. I never knock on the door. I just open the door, and I hear her playing the piano. Sometimes I try to stop and listen because she sounds good.
Tries.
You sound really good. She
Thanks.
sings.
I do.
It's very nice to hear. Put you in a good mood.
Maybe we'll do a Christmas carol this year.
Maybe we'll do it live.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Okay.
call you out.
Okay, maybe we will. We'll see.
It depends on what mood she's in, and maybe having a mimosa since we're doing it in the morning. We're not
Maybe.
quite sure.
Maybe. But to say all of this, just from our personal experience,
First of all, there's no shame
There's no shame.
in getting help.
No, please get help. Please see a doctor if you are feeling like overwhelmed, feeling as if there's that gloom and doom hanging over you, or possibly you're sleeping a lot. As I am embarking on the health coach and life coach series that I'm doing, this is something that pops up with all of us, with anybody, that I can say, hey, maybe you should go to the doctor and get this seen about, because the longer you wait, the worse it will get. And you don't want that. When it can be so good for your whole life can be amazing. I know you can't maybe see it now, but if you go get it checked out, you can. There are some things, though, that I'd like to talk about to kind of help you through depression.
Okay.
And anxiety. So when I had anxiety, I did Pilates. Go figure. Yeah, I had a VHS tape.
Shows how long ago that was.
It was a long time ago.
How long ago was that? So how long have you been doing Pilates? Because she started, because of all this.
Well, it was Eddie's first deployment. So a long time ago, before kids.
So over 14 years ago, now that we know that Allie's going to be 14.
Yeah, it's probably 18.
Okay.
About 18 years ago. And I had a VHS
VHS cassette.
Yeah, thank you.
Called a cassette?
No, that's for music.
The more you'll get to know us, the more you'll know that we say things that they
that
really
are not
don't
the same.
mean what they.
But you know what I mean. So it was a Bender ball method VHS. Bender ball. And anybody in Pilates knows the Bender ball, or Bender method in general. It's amazing. It's good stuff. And so I would wake up in the middle of the night and panic, and I would lay on the floor and I would do this whole hour of Pilates. And for a whole hour, I had calm. I could breathe. I felt in control. I could breathe. I could control every little part of my body in that moment. And I could end it going, oh, I'm not going to have a heart attack, or I'm not dying. It's going to be okay. And then it would come back, and I might do it for 3 hours. I might do that tape for 3 hours. In my worst moments, it helps me.
Truth be told, we're both control freaks, and probably having some sense of control over something in that moment
It did. It helped.
Just helped
It helped a
tremendously.
lot. And I was alone. Eddie was gone in California, and it was just a very low time for me. But Pilates did something for me, got the endorphins going. It helped me feel controlled, and I controlled my breathing, and I could control my core. And probably, several months later, I guess it was, I looked at myself and I went, oh.
I'm hot. That's what she said.
I'm like, oh, look at my butt.
She enjoyed looking at herself after Pilates.
I mean, I looked pretty good. And my husband was on deployment.
Well, I mean, it was incentive for him to come home.
Anyway, it was good
Fast.
when he came home. So anyway, beyond that, exercise. Just exercise. That's going to make you feel better.
Exercise is a huge thing.
It is a huge thing.
The
with depression.
endorphins, everything helps.
Getting up out of bed when you don't think you can, you have to tell yourself to get up. You have to get up. You've got to walk outside. You've got to do something to where you're not wallowing in this darkness.
And don't listen to sappy music.
Don't do it.
Ah, it's so terrible. She knows what my sappy music person is. She knows what it is. And every time it comes on, she's like, what's wrong?
It's terrible.
Sometimes you just need sappy music.
You do, but you need to make sure it's not in that worst time. I mean,
well,
it's not good for you.
I know, I hear you.
But anyway, so exercise, sugar. I'm coming back to sugar. I don't know if there'll ever be a time that I don't bring up sugar in our health coaching segment, because sugar.
The problem is sugar, so addicting.
It is addicting.
Like yesterday, okay. So yesterday, we went to the Cheesecake Factory. Her and I, we didn't get dessert. No. We were good. But the girls were off at school. So we took the girls with us. And so then Brianna, my daughter, and her friend, they shared a cheesecake. And Allie's like, I'm not getting one. I'm not getting one. And she was so proud of herself on the way home. She's like, I am so proud that I didn't get that cheesecake.
She's really proud.
But we wanted it secretly, but we didn't. We didn't.
It's just, we know how it's going to make us feel.
It's true. Bloated and gross.
Really. And then on the other side of that, sugar also has some major effects and attachments to your brain,
yeah,
where it can affect the depression and make it worse.
It's the chemical aspect of it, which I feel like we should do more research on that.
I agree.
That's a huge thing.
So stop the sugar, or at least step back. Cut it back.
I don't think it should be a daily occurrence.
No.
I mean, people do it daily.
It should be a treat.
They think that they are treating themselves every day, but really it just kind of backfires on you.
It should be a treat, for sure. Another thing, you've got your exercise, you've got eliminating sugars, hydration. If you're dehydrated, it's going to play a big part in how you feel. And you may think, oh, I can't get up and I'm so tired. It may be because you're dehydrated, not because you're depressed, but it makes you feel depressed because you have no energy to get up.
Water is so important. We discussed this, last week?
We'll discuss it every week.
Probably every week.
It's part of what we need to do in our lives.
Yes.
So,
and it's a reminder.
It is.
For everybody.
So another thing is meditation. So whatever comforts you, whether it be Bible study, prayer time, whether it be
just a quiet moment in the morning or in the evening by yourself.
Closing your eyes and just taking some breaths.
Let's discuss breathing for a second.
Yes.
It's so hard. We do this Connect class at the studio, and it is very difficult for me to breathe. Like I start thinking that I'm gonna hyperventilate.
And then she
like, looks at me like, breathe. And I'm like, I'm trying to breathe.
I'm like, so guys, if you're going too fast, you're hyperventilating about now.
Well, listen, it happens.
And she's going in and out and in and out and in and out. And I'm like, okay, Inhale.
That is so hard. That is so long.
Exhale.
Who breathes that long? I mean, really, that is so hard.
Well, it saved my life.
I have
I
20
mean, it
things
saved
going
me.
through my head.
And that's the problem. You've got to let it go.
I know.
Got to let it go. So breathing, taking the time to sit and just take a moment. We all need it. We need it several times a day. And then meditation. There's a lot of really great meditations out there. My daughter, Allie, uses Honest Guys meditation on Spotify for before she goes out on stage to dance, and it really has helped her to calm her brain down, calm her nerves before she goes out and performs. And they also have some great meditations to go to sleep at night, because my girls have had struggles going to sleep. They're type A control freaks like their mother. So
yeah, fair.
I have to teach them how to
Allie's
cope.
more so.
Allie is definitely more so.
Sorry, Allie, but you are like your mother.
Just a little bit. So
not necessarily a bad thing.
It is not. So I will also say, with all of the negativity that seems to come with depression and anxiety, you're pretty special. The type of person that tends to have this disorder, this type of mental health problem, you're very creative.
And very sensitive.
Very sensitive.
Which is the reason why some of it comes on.
Right.
Because we tend to read between the lines.
Right.
Try to think what people are actually saying when they're not saying it.
Right.
And then it starts messing with our heads.
Right. So I think that for me, all of this combined in my life has made me the success that I've been today.
It's true.
In what I do.
Because you're able to relate.
Right.
We have clients that walk in every day, and at the end of a class, they'll say, that was really good because I was really anxious this morning, or I had a really tough morning and I just needed to come in and just focus and kind of get my mind off of what else was going on. So yeah, that is why we're successful.
It's pretty,
because you care.
Well, that's it. I think that, when you go through things, that you're just more sympathetic to others and to what they're going through. So don't ever look at going through depression, anxiety, or anything that you're going through with mental health and think that you are, in despair and this is the end of the world, because honestly, ultimately, God's going to use it.
It's so true.
He's going to use it to help somebody else. You're going to be a part of helping someone else once you get through the fog. And so I just encourage you to kind of wrap this segment up, just encourage you to get help, go to a doctor, and then try some of these things. Exercise, meditation, take the sugar out as much as possible, drink the water, and then just take care of you.
Rest,
and
like
take
Brody's
care of you.
doing right now.
So if you ever hear snoring in the background, it's not Eddie.
It's not Eddie. Eddie's usually at work. Yeah. But it's Brody.
But it's Brody, my dog.
Snores.
And
I don't know how you sleep at night.
He snores all the time.
She sleeps with him.
I love him. He's my baby.
But he snores so loud. How can you do it?
Because I love him.
Well, I love Brian too, but I kick him. I'm like, move over. He tends to do that to me too sometimes, so I can't call him out only.
So that's what you're hearing. Yeah. So we'd like to probably move on to our business section.
Yeah. So segue into her life coaching. So business in general is one of those things to where I think you should always be moving forward and not necessarily expanding, like getting bigger as far as with space and all that kind of stuff, but moving forward as in what else can you provide people that could help them, especially in the fitness industry, right? Because we're not just about fitness, we're about the mind as well.
Right.
So Jen's been going through this life coaching aspect, and that is one of the ways that we can help, besides doing this, the live streaming, because we got a lot of positive comments last week. And it's just free to everybody to be able to listen in and see kind of where we're at. But the life coaching part is a way that if they need one-on-one help, or they like group settings to kind of get feedback from different people and just kind of like bounce things off of other people. Jen is going to be starting that part of our business, but it's just, you know, a one-on-one, what we said, twice a month. And then we're going to have group sessions on the other weeks of the month, which is, I guess, twice a month. So I'll let you talk more about that.
Yeah. So basically, it's really hard to get people started. I really wanted to get people started before the new year, but once you start getting into, I mean, there's 11 Mondays until Christmas. 11 Mondays. Really? I just read that, and
She had a slight panic attack, and I told her, I don't want to talk about it. Like, we're bringing it up twice in this live stream. And it's causing me anxiety that is part of this whole segment.
I just couldn't believe it. So, but it's hard to get people on board when they're busy. I mean, look, we got Coco going on here. I mean, this week
we have to finish that today.
It's crazy. Yeah,
this is for little Sarah Grace.
This is Sarah Grace. She's going to get up to a little homecoming game with a sweet little boy that we just think is adorable. She doesn't like to talk about it.
No, she gets really
very quiet and shy. But, you know, this town is incredible. The community is incredible, but it also has a ton of things going on. And so we just know that starting it up in January is really the best way to start at the first of the year.
Although we do feel like you should start habit changing
today. And that's why we try to help you along with that.
Steps,
little things. But the health coaching is going to take you a little more deeper. We're going to dig deeper into what is getting in the way of you wanting to change habits.
It's the mind part of the mind body.
Yes.
Right? And what we do.
Yes.
And when you expand into something, I think you should know who you are.
Yep.
You like, her and I, we can't do a clothing boutique.
Oh no,
we just can't. First of all, we would eat our profits because we would want everything.
We would want it all.
And so we know that that's not a thing that we should do. It's not our forte.
It's really kind of why we haven't gone crazy with stuff in our studio.
It's not
with
something
clothing.
that I feel like is totally enjoyable for us to have to. It's more of a burden.
Yeah.
More of I have another thing to do type of deal. When all this other stuff is something that's within us.
Right.
Something that we're into changing people, not us changing people, but helping people change themselves. And we're not into, let's see what you are wearing.
Right.
You can come into our studio and wear anything.
Anything.
Listen, it's from the Amazon. She is looking
Listen,
good.
Okay. So
Walmart.
Natalie.
This is from Walmart.
Natalie Swanson, if you're watching.
We got that from you.
This is from you on No to Like It.
We will never wear it the same day because that's just weird. But
follow Natalie Swanson if you're on that app.
I know.
Because she's
awesome.
What is
it called? Like It now?
Is it No to Like It?
No to Like It. Hold on.
Look, we have to tell you the exact thing.
Because we have to give her a shout out.
But I will tell you this.
Like it, know it.
Like it, know it.
That's it.
Yes. And my husband's just so happy when I order from Amazon because he works there.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, Amazon clothes, awesome. So anyway,
Walmart.
Yeah. We don't care. We
don't care.
We want you to come in as who you are. And we want you to never feel judged in our space. And we want you to always feel like you can be you.
So that is why we don't expand into the things that aren't, that we're not passionate about.
Right.
We want to do things that complement what we already do, which Pilates is very mind-body. If you've never taken a Pilates class, I don't know if you would truly understand that, because really you have to really think hard about which muscle groups you're working, and you have to breathe. Like, they have to constantly remind us, all of our instructors have to constantly remind you to breathe, because when you're doing something hard, sometimes you forget to breathe, which is that's a mental thing. You know, you have to tell yourself. So when you're going into business, you want to make sure that whatever you do complements what you already do, but you also have to make sure you're passionate about it. Because if you're passionate about it, then you're going to succeed in whichever way you want to succeed.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's the know who you are is so important.
Yeah.
It's so important because you can always have these great ideas. There's a lot of great ideas out there.
Right.
But how does that really apply to what you do? And is it really going to be a success?
And before you launch
or
it,
a hindrance.
you need to research it.
Yeah.
Before you launch it, don't launch something just wham bam.
No.
Like, you really have to know what you're doing. You may be passionate about it, but you may not know a lot about it. So do your research. Make sure it's something that you can handle financially, emotionally, because life coaching is going to be very emotional.
It is.
It's going to be very
And
emotional.
I'm learning how to, set these boundaries and things to help me not take on a lot of the client stuff. But yet I want to give my very best and who I am, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
So everything that we have added to the studio, we knew was who we were.
Yeah.
We stuck with, our rules and the guidelines that I have set to be a studio and studio owner, and I have stuck to those guidelines. And I sometimes I make it harder for myself.
Yeah, you do.
But I always know that it's for a short term.
Temporary.
It's temporary for long-term gain, right?
Yeah. She's a hard worker. So when she goes out there to do something, she does it 150%. She doesn't do it 50%.
No.
It's not worth it.
No. Nothing works. Nothing works that you're only going to do halfway.
And
Nothing
in business,
works.
there's a lot of hard work. And if you're not willing to work hard, I don't know if being an entrepreneur is necessarily for you.
Right.
Because you do make a lot of sacrifices in order to be an entrepreneur.
For
Time, energy, and money.
Yep.
So.
Yep. For sure.
That's that. It's
So-
time for the quote. Because
What?
We're at 32 minutes. already.
Yes. Perfect.
I gotta find our music again because I gotta.
So we have a quote of the week for you. So I loved it. So it's sometimes the people around you won't understand your journey. They don't need to. It's not for them.
So true.
Okay. Sometimes the people around you won't understand your journey. They don't need to because it's not for them.
It's your journey.
It's
Everybody's
yours.
journey is different.
It's your journey. So love who you are and love where you're at. I struggle with that a lot.
I struggle with that every day.
I have always, from the moment I was a kid, teenager, I was always wanting to be, if I was 14, I wanted to be 16. If I was 16, I wanted to be 18. Just go on the journey because
Enjoy your moment.
there's a plan. And there's a lot of moments I missed out on enjoying because I was too much in a hurry to go to the next place.
That's what I'm trying to do with Brandon this year.
And you know what?
Enjoy the moment with
The
him.
biggest lesson I ever learned in my journey as a military spouse, when I just couldn't wait, to change and go somewhere else, guess what? I would go somewhere else and it wasn't the same as it was the first time. Life changes. And if you look at it, the way you look at it, it changes for the better if you look at it in a different perspective.
So true.
So I just leave you with that. Take your journey and live it, love it, and have and have a great week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.